What's up, guys, and welcome to lesson 1 of Guitar 101. So in today's lesson we're going to talk about the parts of the guitar and what they are, and just kind of get you guys familiar with the instrument itself. Okay, that way as we start and as we continue to progress, then if I tell you to go, turn the tuner or whatever, you'll know what I'm talking about. All right. So first we're going to start with the body. This is the body of the guitar right here. This is a Gibson J45. It's got a thick body. It's kind of like a box, right? Hollow inside. So this is called the body. All right, and this little colored part right here, it's like a tortoise shell color. This is called a pick guard, and what it does, it does just that. It guards your pick when you hit the guitar. Some guitars have them, some guitars don't. If yours don't, no worries. I've got some up here that don't have them. So yeah, so this is called a pick guard. And then this is called the neck, right? This piece of wood here is called the neck. Attaches to the body here. So body, neck, and then this part up here is called the headstock, right? So you've got the guitar body, the guitar neck, and then the guitar headstock, okay? So let's get to some of the moving parts of this. The front of the neck is called the fretboard, okay? So it's literally it's flat, and some of this stuff kind of helps you remember this, but it's flat, right, like a board. So this is the fretboard, and then these little metal things here. Let me get close to the camera so you can see this. These little metal things going up and down here, those are called frets. So what happens when you push the fret down, you hit the string, right? When you push your finger down on one of the behind one of the frets and the spaces, the string pushes against the metal fret and it changes the pitch of the note or the sound. It makes it go higher or lower. So okay, so those are called frets. So we got the body, the neck, the headstock, and the frets. Okay, and the fretboard. That's what the board that the frets are laying on. All right. So next, let's talk about the things that make sound. These are called strings. All right. So the strings run from the back of the guitar to the headstock, and let me show you how they're connected. So the back of the guitar right here, and I'll scoot up again. The back of the guitar right here. This is called the bridge. Okay. This is the bridge. This whole piece right here is a guitar bridge. So this wood piece and all this is the bridge. Now, this right here is called, these are saddles, right? This is where the string rides in. Think of riding a horse, right? The guy riding in the horse rides in a saddle. That's where your string rides on the bridge. So the bridge, and then on top of the bridge are the saddles, right? The bridge is the whole piece. The saddle, in this case, this bridge piece has one. But the saddles, some guitars have individual ones, or where they get the strings lay in when they're strung up. And then these are bridge pins. So you put your string inside there, and this is what holds them down. If you have a guitar, if you're new to guitar, don't pull these up, okay, without loosening these first. We'll talk about how to change your strings later. But yeah, if your guitar's tuned and it's already ready to go, don't mess with these. We'll mess with these at a later time and date. All right, so into the headstock we have, well, right here. Let me stop here first. This little part right here, this little white piece, is called the nut, okay? And this is where the string, each individual string sits in the nut before it goes on up the headstock to the parts we're going to talk about. So, the guitar string go in here, the bridge pin holds it down, the string rides in the saddle, crosses the nut here, and then goes on to the tuning pegs, alright? So, this particular guitar has 3 per side. Some have, 6 per side, or I've seen them offset like 4 and 3, but this one has 6, so it's 3 per side, 3 and 3. And what this does, you can see the string wraps around it, and it goes through the hole, and then you turn these to make the sound go up and down. Okay, so watch, I'll show you. Okay, that's how you tune your guitar. So if you, as the lessons progress, we'll talk about guitar tuning, but these are called the tuning pegs. Okay, so we'll recap. You have body, you have the neck, you have the fretboard, and then you have the frets running this way, right? The metal pieces going down. You have the saddle, the bridge with the saddle, the bridge pins, the strings, the nut, and the tuning pegs. Okay? So, what I want you to do this week is work on naming the parts of your guitar. And so you can write them down. You can write on a little piece of paper, get a picture of a guitar online and look at them that way. But I want you to take your guitar and look and identify these parts on your guitar, because before we start really diving into playing, you have to know what parts you have on your guitar, right? So before you can start really playing a bunch of stuff, we've got to make sure that we know what the parts are. That way, if I go, okay, go to the 3rd fret, because the first chord we'll start talking about, we'll be looking at frets and fret numbers and stuff. So we've got to make sure we know all of our parts. Now, one thing I will tell you in advance, when we start talking about chords, if I say play on the 3rd fret, this is, once we start playing, we're discussing the spaces, okay? So if I say 1st fret, this is the 1st fret on the guitar, but we're actually going to put our finger behind it, right in the middle. See that space, that block where that little inlay is? What you do is you push your finger behind it. I'll scoot up here. Got a noisy chair. We'll scoot up here. So there's the 1st fret, the metal piece, but you push your finger between it. Okay? Okay. One more part I want to talk about on this guitar, and a lot of guitars have it. Electric guitars, some have it, some don't. But this is an acoustic guitar because it's loud, right? And it's acoustic. Is the sound hole. That's this thing right here. Big hole into the middle of the guitar. That's called the sound hole. And what it does, it makes the box or the body of the guitar, right? The body of the guitar resonate. So with the strings held into the saddle, riding in the saddle, held in the bridge, when you play the guitar, the sound all comes out of this hole right here. It makes it really loud, right? Okay, so a couple more parts of the guitar we'll discuss in this lesson, and then I want you guys to be practicing naming the parts, identifying the parts of your guitar, looking at it, and spend some time getting used to holding it, right? And then next week we're going to start diving into starting on our first chord and all that good stuff, okay? So, a couple more parts. You'll see on the end of this guitar there's a metal piece right here. This is the strap button. Now this guitar also, you can see there's a hole in it. That's where you plug it up to go into an amp or something like that to make it louder. But this metal piece itself is called a strap button, and then there's another one right here. Okay, so strap button there, and that's where you literally, where's my strap? Take your strap and you fasten it to there. So we'll lay this down. You can see this. I'll scoot up my noisy chair here. And then you just push it on there. And that's what holds your strap on the guitar right there, so it doesn't come off. Okay? So, again, we'll review one more time, and then we'll move on, and we'll see you guys next week for lesson 2. So, we have guitar body, sound hole, saddle, right here, saddle, the white part, the bridge pins, strings, the neck, right? This whole piece is called the neck. The fretboard, which is the front part. The frets, the metal frets, the individual metal pieces going that way. The strings, the nut, right here, the white piece there. The headstock, and the tuning pegs. Okay? So, spend some time with your instrument, get to know those parts. Look at them, identify them, maybe even have your family give you a quiz before supper. Hey, show me the tuning peg, show me the body of the guitar, show me where the strings are. But get really familiar with those, because starting next week we're going to really dive into starting to learn, and we need to know what these parts are so we can start playing. We'll see you guys next week.